Voicemail at 6:47 p.m. I stood in the mudroom with one boot still on. The phone was in my hand, against my ear. The voicemail was the third one this week, from a number I did not know. This time, the woman finally left her name. Shirley. This is Rhonda. I know you don't know me. We need to talk about Willie. Please call me back. The voice was steady. Not angry. Not begging. Steady. I did not move for a full minute. The dishwasher was running in the kitchen. Upstairs, I could hear Bruce on a work call. He was talking about a broken AC unit at some apartment building on the east side. He was using his patient voice, the one he uses with property managers who do not want to spend money. Willie was at SAT prep until 8. He was 15 years old. He has been my stepson for the last 8 years. A memory came back before I could push it away. Our third date, 12 years ago. We were at a small Italian place on Lorraine Avenue, the kind of place with red sauce and red booths and a candle on every table. Bruce told me like he was holding the words in his mouth for weeks. I have a son. He's 7. His mother is gone. Not dead. Just gone. I told him it didn't change anything. I meant it. I was also a little proud of how easy it was to say. The kitchen counter still had my 401k forms spread out next to a cold mug of coffee. Open enrollment closed Friday. The pen was uncapped, and the line for my contribution was blank. I had to choose a percentage. I had to choose between 2 new fund options. I picked up the pen and put the cap back on. The small click was the only sound besides the dishwasher. I played the voicemail one more time. Then I deleted it. I did not tell Bruce. Meatloaf for dinner. The same recipe I have made every other Tuesday since the year we got married. Bruce loves meatloaf. Willie tolerates it. I made mashed potatoes and frozen peas, because that is what we always make. I listened to my husband eat. I watched Willie push his peas around his plate the way he always does. He looks more like Bruce every year. I have had that thought 1,000 times. Tonight, the thought made me cold. Bruce talked about the AC job over dinner. The unit was bad. The landlord did not want to pay for the right fix. Willie nodded the way teenagers nod, which means he was not really listening. I asked him about SAT prep. He said it was fine. The math was easier than he thought. Bruce reached over and squeezed his shoulder. They have done that since Willie was 8. That little squeeze, and Willie still lets him do it. It used to be a small comfort. Tonight, I watched it like I was watching strangers. After dinner, Willie went upstairs to do his homework. The stairs creaked under him the way they always creak. I cleared the table. I rinsed the plates. I scraped the peas into the trash. Then I sat on the back porch with a glass of water. The October air bit through my sweater. The wind was coming from the north, through the bare branches of the maple in the neighbor's yard. I could see the kitchen window from where I sat. The light was warm. The house looked like the kind of house people told me to want when I was a girl. I let myself say the name out loud, just once. Rhonda. It was the first time in 8 years. There is a small, ugly secret I have held back from Bruce for 8 years. A letter from Rhonda came in the mail when Willie was 7. The handwriting on the envelope was careful. The return address was Columbus. I did not open it for 2 days. Then I did. Then I burned it in the kitchen sink and ran the garbage disposal until the ash went down. I told myself I was protecting the boy. Tonight, sitting in the cold, I was not so sure that was the whole truth. When I came back inside, I noticed the glass of orange juice from breakfast. I left it on the counter all day. The pulp sat in a thick yellow disc at the bottom. The rest looked watery and warm. I poured it down the sink without thinking. The smell stayed in the kitchen for hours. Bruce came down for water around 10. He asked if I was all right. I said I was tired. He said I was quiet at dinner. Just a long day, I said. Claim numbers. He kissed the top of my head and went back upstairs. His service van sat in the driveway under the streetlight. The company logo on the side caught the orange glow. That van has sat in our driveway every night for 8 years. Tonight I looked at it like I was seeing it for the first time. Willie's SAT prep cost $90 a session. He went on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We started paying for it back in August. Bruce kept saying it was an investment. I never pushed back about anything that touched Willie. That was the deal I made when I married into this family, even if no one used those words. Before bed, I checked my phone again. The deleted voicemail was gone, of course, but the missed call was still in my log. I deleted that too. Then, I deleted the whole call history for the day, just to be safe. That was the first decision I would lie about later. The next morning at work, I closed 2 claims before lunch. A water damage case in Parma, a fender bender and mentor where the kid was clearly at fault but his father was a lawyer. I worked through both with Carla from underwriting. I made the calls, I wrote the notes, I sounded like myself on the phone. At noon, I went down to my car in the lot and sat in the driver's seat with my sandwich on my lap. I pulled up the missed call from Tuesday. The number was still there in my recent calls, even though I deleted the voicemail. I had forgotten that the number itself stays. I sat with my thumb over the green button for a long time. I did not press it. I put the phone in the cup holder. I ate the sandwich. I went back upstairs. That afternoon, I texted Bruce. Dentist appointment Friday. Just a checkup. Be home late. He sent back a thumbs up. A chain coffee shop off the highway. I left work 2 hours early on Friday. I told Bruce I had a dentist appointment. The lie came out clean. I practiced it twice in my car at lunch. I even chose which tooth to point to if he asked. The coffee shop was off exit 191, 40 minutes from home. It was a chain place, the kind travelers stop at, and locals do not. I drove past 2 exits I would normally take. I picked the back booth. I bought a coffee I did not drink. I watched the door for 15 minutes. She walked in at 4:02. I knew her right away. "You're not what I pictured," I said, before she even took her coat off. "What did you picture?" "Someone in worse shape." The line came out sharper than I meant. I watched it land. She was in her mid-40s. Her blonde hair looked soft and expensive. A salon job, not a box from the drugstore. Her wool coat cost more than my monthly grocery bill, and I did not have to guess. She was the regional director for a drug company. She was not poor. She was not falling apart. She did not look like a woman who needed anyone to take her back. She ordered tea. She came back to the booth and tore open 3 sugar packets, one after the other. She poured all 3 into the cup. Then she stirred. The teaspoon clinked against the rim. She did not set it down between stirs. 3 sugars in a plain black tea. Who does that? I thought. The detail would follow me home. She talked first. She explained, calmly, that Willie reached out to her 6 months ago through 2, 3, and me. He ordered a kit with a Christmas gift card from his grandmother. He matched her on the database. He messaged her first. I felt my hands go cold. They wrote back and forth for half a year. Then she drove up from Columbus and parked outside his high school. She just wanted to see him walk out at 3 o'clock. He doesn't know I came, she said. I never got out of the car. This was the first big surprise. Willie, my Willie, the boy I taught to ride a bike on the cul-de-sac, the boy whose panic attacks I sat through at age 11, went looking. He did not come to me. He did not come to his father. He went to a lab in California with a credit card. I held it together until she said the next thing. I tried to write to him before. Years ago. I sent a letter. It came back. It did not come back. I burned it. I stood up. I did not say goodbye. I left my wallet on the table. It was the small leather one Bruce gave me for our 5th anniversary. I was already at the door when I heard her stand up. She caught up to me in the parking lot. She held the wallet out at arm's length, like it might bite her. I'm not here to take anything from you, she said. I just want to be in his life. Then why, I said. Did you ask about Bruce? She did not answer. Not at first. Then, I wanted to know if he was happy. He's happy. Good, she said. She did not move. I did not move. The wind picked up a plastic bag and rolled it across the lot. Somewhere, a car alarm started up and stopped again. Cleveland Clinic, she said. I went there for years. After. The psychiatrist there is the only reason I'm standing in this parking lot. I am not the same person. Good for you, I said. I took the wallet. I did not thank her. I drove 2 miles down the road and pulled into a Walmart parking lot. I sat in my car for 20 minutes. I watched a man load a bag of mulch into the back of his sedan. He was wearing a Browns sweatshirt. He was alone. I did not cry. I thought, very clearly, she came back for the wrong thing first. The wallet was almost the last straw, and the wallet was nothing. I tried to figure out what was happening. Willie went looking. Bruce maybe knew, maybe didn't. Rhonda was clean. Rhonda had money. Rhonda had a job and a steady voice and a wool coat I will never own. I did not know what kind of woman runs into her son's old life through a website with a saliva tube. I did not know what kind of woman waits across the street from a high school and never gets out of the car. I started the engine. I turned off the radio before it could play. I drove home the long way, past the lake. By the time I pulled into the driveway, I made one decision. Bruce needed to know tonight. Then a second thought came. It came in over the first one like a wave, unless he already does. What Bruce knew Willie was sleeping over at his friend Jack's house that Friday night. Bruce and I were alone in our own kitchen for the first time in weeks. The fridge magnet held a science fair photo of Willie at 14. He was holding a second-place trophy for a project on solar panels. I have walked past that photo every morning for the past year. Tonight, I stood in front of it for a long time before I went into the living room. Bruce was watching ESPN with the sound low. He had a beer in his hand. I sat down on the chair across from him. I did not turn the TV off. I let the noise sit between us. How long have you known, I said, that Rhonda is back? He put his beer down slowly. He did not lie. He never has. It is one of the reasons I fell for him. 4 months. The argument was quiet. That is what made it worse. He shut down questions before I even asked them. He said he didn't tell me because Willie asked him not to. He's processing this. He's a kid. I didn't want to put you in the middle of something he's not ready to talk about. You put me in the middle by not telling me. I know. You let me make breakfast for him, drive him to school, while he was texting her in his bedroom. He's still your son. Don't do that. He sat back. He looked tired. He looked as tired as he did at his father's funeral. I should have told you, he said. I know. This was the second big thing I missed. Bruce knew for a third of a year. The marriage I thought I built on full honesty had a hidden room in it the whole time. A memory came up, quick and warm. Willie at 8. He fell off his bike on the cul-de-sac. The skin on his elbow peeled back like the skin of an apple. I held him while he cried. He said "Mom" into my shoulder for the first time. I did not correct him. I thought, I earned this. That word, earned, came back at me. I had been earning him for 8 years. Cooking, driving, folding laundry. I thought it counted. Now Rhonda was here. I sat on the couch. I saw what I had been doing for 8 years. I did not have a name for it. I told myself I burned Rhonda's letter to protect Willie, to keep his life calm. But I had been protecting my own seat at the table the whole time. I had told myself one story. Tonight there was another story underneath it. I could only choose one to live with. I did not tell Bruce about the coffee shop. I did not tell him I met her. I crossed a line, and I knew it, and I was not ready to say so. I put up with a lot in 8 years of this marriage. Late hours on weekends. The $40 copay we paid out of pocket when Willie started therapy at 11 because our insurance didn't cover the in-network therapist Mrs. Hayes recommended. The canceled vacations when an apartment complex lost heat in February. I never asked for credit. I ran that house. I made it work. So when I stood up and walked out the back door with a flashlight, I felt my own anger rise up behind my eyes like water in a sink. The porch bulb was out for 3 weeks. Bruce kept saying he would get to it. I took the trash bag to the curb in the dark. The yellow circle of light from my phone wobbled on familiar concrete. 500 trips to that curb. Tonight I felt like a stranger in my own driveway. When I came back inside, I pulled out my phone. I texted Rhonda. I want to meet again. Just us. No coffee shop. I watched the message turn from sent to delivered. I did not put the phone down. I stood at the kitchen island in the dark with the porch light still out and the dishwasher silent, and I waited. The park bench. The next Saturday morning was cold. The kind of cold that gets into your gloves before you notice. I timed it for SAT prep. Willie was on the other side of town for 2 hours. I knew he would not see me. The park was on the edge of Brookfield, behind the elementary school. There was a youth football game on the far field. A whistle, a man's voice yelling, "Offsides, ref, come on." I sat on a bench with a cup of gas station coffee from the Sunoco on Main. My gloves had a hole in the right thumb. Cold air slipped through. I kept catching myself rubbing the bare spot with my other hand. I made myself stop, and then I started again. And I made myself stop. Rhonda sat down next to me. We did not greet each other. "I'll be quick," I said. "Willie can have you. I won't block any of it. He's a teenager. He gets to make his own choices. But you stay away from Bruce." She laughed, and it was not a friendly laugh. "I am his mother. You were his wife. You haven't been his mother in any way that counts since he was 3. You don't know what happened. Then tell me." She did. She held back nothing. She told me she had postpartum psychosis. Severe. She tried to drown Willie in the bathtub when he was 4 months old. She does not remember doing it. Bruce pulled the boy out. She was in a hospital for 9 weeks. By the time she came home, Bruce already filed for separation. He told her she could see the baby with supervision. She tried. She failed. She left. But she did not stop writing. She wrote a letter every birthday. She wrote one when Willie was 7. That one was longer than the others. She was 6 months sober. She had a steady job. She wanted to ask Bruce if she could try again, just to see her son. That letter never came back. She wondered for years why she never got an answer. I did not say anything. She watched my face. The cold made her cheeks pink. The wind pulled a strand of hair across her mouth. She did not push it away. "You burned it," she said. "Didn't you?" I did not answer. I did not have to. She saw it. This was the moment. I felt the shape of what I did 8 years ago and what I was doing now. They were the same shape. I was using the boy as leverage. I was doing it on purpose. I knew it was ugly. I did it anyway. You wanted out. You got it. I built that family while you were gone. I stopped. I made myself stop. Blood didn't show up for 13 years. Don't show up now and call yourself his mother. She stood up. Her hands were steady. I noticed that. The hands of a woman who used to shake. "You think I came back for him?" she said. "I came back because Willie asked me to. He's the one who started this, Shirley. Not me. You're fighting the wrong person." She walked away. I did not watch her go. Then she stopped. She turned back, just for a second. "We crossed that bridge a long time ago," she said. "Both of us." She walked the rest of the way to her car. I sat on the bench until my coffee went cold in my hand. The whistle from the football field sounded again. A father was yelling at a child. I tried to make the postpartum thing real to me. I tried to imagine the bathtub. I tried to imagine the 9 weeks in the hospital. It took me a long time to feel anything about it. It surprised me how long. A woman with a stroller walked past. The baby was asleep. The mother looked tired in a way I recognized. She did not look at me. I thought about Willie at 4 months. I did not know him then. I was 26. I was waiting tables at a place near the airport. I did not know Bruce yet. The world was a different shape. The version of me who would burn a letter 8 years later was not born yet. That was not an excuse. I was not looking for one. I did not break down on the drive home. I held the wheel at 10 and 2 like a teenager in a road test. I turned the heat all the way up. I told myself I would not bring any of it up at home. When I got home, Bruce and Willie were on the couch eating delivery pizza. They were watching the Browns game. Willie waved a slice at me when I came through the door. I smiled. I said, "How was practice?" I sat down. I ate 2 slices. I did not bring any of it up. The Browns lost by 10. Bruce shook his head and said the same thing he says every fall. Maybe next year. Willie said something about his English paper. I asked him if he finished his outline. He had not. We talked about that easily, like a normal Saturday family. That night, after Bruce was asleep, I dreamed about a letter I could not read. The handwriting was my own. The boarding pass, 3 weeks. He was packing for a trip he hadn't told me about. The weeks between the park bench and the laundry pile passed in a way I cannot remember in detail. Rhonda and Willie now FaceTimed every Sunday afternoon. Willie used the office. He closed the door. I could hear his laugh through the wall. I did not knock. I did not ask. Bruce did not contact Rhonda. I believed that. I had to keep believing it. Every day. Some days were harder than others. One Sunday, in early November, I stood outside the office door with a basket of clean towels. I was not trying to listen. The towels needed to go in the hall closet, which was 3 feet from the office. Willie was laughing at something Rhonda said. Then I heard him say, very clearly, "I'll ask Shirley about it. She'd know." I do not know what the question was. He never asked me anything that day. He came down for dinner at 6. He passed the salt. He talked about a chemistry test. He went back upstairs. I put the towels away. I made spaghetti. I sat at my own kitchen table and tried to feel okay about a sentence that should have made me feel okay. He still came to me for things. He still said her name and my name in the same conversation. That should have been a comfort. Most of it was. Bruce started doing things he does not usually do. He brought me lunch at the claims office on a Wednesday. A turkey sandwich from the deli near my building. A coffee made the way I like it. He has never done this in 8 years of marriage. I knew what it was. I let him do it anyway. I kissed him at my desk in front of my coworkers. Carla, from underwriting, raised both eyebrows in a way that made me feel, briefly, married again. He fixed 2 things in the house that he had been promising for months: the leak under the bathroom sink, the lock on the back gate. He did not fix the porch bulb. One night, in late October, I came back from a late claim out in Lakewood. It was past 9. The kitchen smelled like garlic. Bruce had reheated the leftover pasta from Sunday. He had set a plate at my spot. He had also poured a glass of red wine, the kind we used to drink on Friday nights before Willie came along. I sat down. I ate. I drank the wine. I asked him about his day. He told me about a heat exchanger that had cracked at a daycare on the west side. He told me the daycare owner cried. We did the dishes side by side. He washed. I dried. We did not talk about Rhonda. We did not talk about Willie. For 10 minutes, it felt like we were 2 people who liked each other's company. That was something. I let it be something. Willie talked about his 16th birthday. He was studying for his driver's permit. He had a stack of practice tests on the kitchen table next to a half-eaten apple. I quizzed him one Sunday on the right-of-way at 4-way stops. He got every answer right. He kissed my cheek when he got up from the table. The kiss was quick. He has been kissing my cheek for 8 years. On a Saturday in November, I was folding Willie's laundry. I have folded his laundry for 8 years. The pile of jeans, the inside-out hoodies, the one black sock that never has a partner. The whole load smelled like our Walmart brand laundry detergent. The same smell as every Saturday since 2017. My phone buzzed on the bedspread next to the pile. A calendar reminder. We have a shared family calendar that Bruce set up years ago when Willie started middle school sports. Anyone in the family could add an event. The reminders pushed to all three of our phones. I tapped it without thinking. PHX Trip W, February 21, the Saturday after his 16th birthday in February, 3 months from now. The notes on the event listed a flight number and a one-way fare from Cleveland to Phoenix. Willie added it himself. He must have forgotten the calendar was shared. Or he didn't care anymore. He was going to Rhonda. I sat on the edge of my bed for a long time. I did not cry. I did not call Bruce. I walked to my closet. I took down a wooden box from the top shelf. It was the one with my mother's wedding ring and my grandmother's rosary in it. I opened it. On top of the ring was a small pinch of ash in a Ziploc bag, the remains of Rhonda's letter. For 8 years, I could not throw the ash out. I never let myself ask why. I closed the box. I put it back on the shelf, behind a folded sweater I never wear. I went downstairs. I poured myself a finger of bourbon I usually save for Christmas. Bruce's parents send a bottle of Maker's Mark every year. I do not really like the taste. Tonight, I did not notice the taste. I stood at the kitchen window and looked out at the backyard. The porch bulb was still out. 3 months of asking, and Bruce still has not gotten to it. I thought I should call someone. I did not specify who. The bourbon was too sweet at first, then sharp. I remembered my father drinking the same brand at my wedding rehearsal. I thought then I was getting a husband. I think now I was getting a family. The two are not the same thing. Nobody told me. Bruce walked into the kitchen and asked what I wanted for dinner. I told him I wasn't hungry yet. He didn't ask again. I stood at the window. The bourbon glass was warm in my hand now. The porch was dark outside. Willie was upstairs, on a call I could not hear. The marriage was intact. The family was rearranged. There was a flight booked in February that I would not bring up until he brought it up first. If he ever did, I carried on. I rinsed the glass. I put it on the drying rack. I turned off the kitchen light. The porch stayed dark behind me.
So, Soleil says it was for Willie. I don't buy it. Not for 1 second. She did it to keep her place. And that little bag for ash, she kept it for 8 years. Why? Even she doesn't know. Plus that porch bulb. 3 weeks, Bruce never fixed it. Small thing, but it stuck with me. So tell me, whose side are you really on? Soleil, after 8 years of laundry, or Brenda, who wrote and got nothing? Drop it below. I want to hear it. Thank you for watching the video and see you in the next video.